So congratulations on the film.
Thank you very much.
So where did where did this idea come from?
It came from my love of superhero films, and I did the Picture Star program, and I decided if I tried a couple of times to get it, and I didn't, and I decided, okay, if they ever pick me now, I'm just going to do something really, a big swing. It's like, I'm not going to give them a little film. I gave them little films, and they didn't go for it, so if they ever want me in Picture Star, it's going to be something difficult, something bigger. And so, I mean, when I say I love superheroes, I love what was being done in the comic books in the 1980s, in which they started to examine why would people put on masks and psychology of it all. And so that I love. Like now we have a lot of movies where every movie, we got to save the world. That's what superheroes doing, like every movie. So I like what they did when they started to look at, I mean, it gives you such opportunities to look at human conditions. You wouldn't think that superheroes could, but people are changing themselves. And when you decide, I'm going to create a new identity for myself, I mean, you can really explore a lot of things with that.
Yeah. And well, telling a superhero story, you know, there's lots of, you know, and it's obvious in the film, there's lots of world building that goes on around it. Was there a lot of stuff that you found in terms of world building? Like, how did you approach fitting such like a large world into a short film?
It's tricky because you got to feel like the characters, like you know the characters, and they've existed in this world, but you're only seeing them for like 12 minutes or something. So one of the things you try to do is give people something familiar, something they can relate to, so that helps with the building. And since I also wanted to show my love of the genre, I put in, like this is also a love letter to the genre, so I wanted to put in familiar, cool things like the spotlight. I wanted the spotlight on a building, which is not easy to pull off, but I wanted that. That's one of my little things I put in to show, you know, my love of it. And I also think all that from things which are familiar helps people get into that world too.
Were there any like major inspirations, like when you look into the comic book world? Were there like major inspirations?
Definitely. I'd say Frank Miller's work in the 1980s, his Daredevil, especially, which led to him revamping Batman, which is probably the Batman the world sees in movies now, which was really Frank Miller going from Daredevil and soon afterwards revamping Batman. So that's kind of like his vision that he did, the New York City on the rooftops, the heroes without powers fighting villains without powers. And it's funny, like when we were casting, you get the audition tapes in, and you see the different characters, and one of them that came in with Brian Marler's audition tape for the villain Shane. And that was, like when I saw that, I thought, he gets it. Like, you know, there was a lot of great tapes, but you just knew that he understood. So myself and my excellent producer, Andrea Cass, we went and met Brian. He wanted to meet us and see what we were about. So two of us went to meet Brian Marler, and he talked to us like what we saw about the story and all that. And one of the things I explained to him was Frank Miller's Daredevil from the 80s. And he said to me, I used to read that comic, so I understand what you're talking about. And he did. Like, he understood how to play that character, that villain, perfectly. Like, it was just a great thing. And he was so talented. The whole cast was very talented. We got Megan Jones there, right here in the audience, who played our top Kate. And she was so excellent at this. And, of course, Justin Nurse as Northerner. He was really the only person I wanted in that part was him.
Oh, okay.
I knew he'd be perfect for it, and I had to have him do that. And so it turned out it was a small cast, because you're trying to create characters quickly and not much time, and so I couldn't really share the stage with a lot of other characters, because I wanted to make those characters real. So it's a lot on the actors, but all three of them just gave incredible performances. Really so happy.
Yeah, the casting turned out really great. I know that was not too much of a stretch for Megan to play a gritty, dirty cop. Right. I wanted to open things up to the audience too. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
One thing I really noticed was how well the music, the score, the compositions kept me in the tone, because I think sometimes with superheroes you can go camp so easy, that line is, so was it, how much influence did you have with your composer to help create that? Was there a lot of discussion around it, a lot of play with it, a lot of, where did you nail it right off the get-go?
He came up with most of it on his own. The beginning, I had a request for the beginning, the music at the beginning. That was sort of my request, and I explained that to him. But the rest of the score was Adam Foran, who is very talented and makes very catchy scores, which stay in my head afterwards. And that was his vision. He went kind of along the Dark Knight way for a score. And even with Steve Cook, who did the coloring and at NIFCO, post-production, he went along that kind of path too. He told me he watched Joker and he watched the Dark Knight movies to get the feel of it for when he was doing the color. And he tried to have like a little 70s feel thrown into it in his job. So two of them, I got to give credit to both of them. They worked extra hard on this, harder than I expected. And they did, everyone did. There were so many people who worked extra hard on this. Like, it was incredible what they put into it. And our conditions, there was TV shows we're filming, and it was hard to get people to do it. And we did a lot of digging, and we got people, and they did an excellent job. So I'm really thankful for all the work everyone did, and the challenges they overcame. Like, that spotlight was a challenge. That was something that is like, I mean, half a week before we shot, we didn't know if Spotlight's going to work or not. So it was a lot of challenges, and they've got everything worked out. So it's a very impressive crew I had.
That's great. Any other questions from the audience? Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you,
and congratulations on the movie.
Thank you very much.
And thank you everybody for coming to watch and coming and checking out the Q&A. And yeah, lots more screenings this week, so we'll see you at all of them, I think, right? Verbal contract?